Our next comedian coming to the stage is on a comeback trail. He was a comedian about 40 years ago. He took his path differently, became a college professor, recently retired, now he's back at it. Let's give a warm, big hand for Mr. Brenner.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Before we get started, what I wanted to do was I just want to let you guys know I brought dinner with me. And it's nice. It's chicken. I've had it in my pocket for about 6-7 hours now. All right, and terrific stuff. Absolutely terrific. So, yeah, guys, my first name is actually Jan. J-A-N. 3 letters, very simple, right? All my life, all I heard was, Jan's a girl's name. So, lately, I've started to use my middle name, Pat. I don't have it quite as bad as my sister Michael does. She's got it rough. She really does. So, guys, have you ever gotten that call from the Indian guy who claims he's from the IRS?
Yeah.
Right, you ever get that call? I get a call last week, all right? The guy says his name is Mr. Mahudi, and he's from the IRS. And that I owe the federal government $4,000. I just took a giant step back. I said, wait a second, right? I was not born yesterday. I'm not an idiot. I am not giving you any more than $2,000. What a world we live in. So, next thing I wanted to talk about, here's a really cheery subject. I've had several heart attacks the past couple of years. They're great. They're the best. They're the best. Yeah, I really did. I had a couple of heart attacks. And now, just to play it safe, when I leave the house every day, I take out my cell phone and I dial 9-1. 9-1. Never know when you're going to hit that number. So I've also had about 40 kidney stones in my lifetime. 40. Anybody ever have a kidney stone? All right. Would you like to have a kidney stone? They're really nasty. Every time I went to the emergency room, you know what they gave me? Morphine. I love morphine. I'm sorry, having a little morphine flashback there. So my doctor told me the reason why I'm forming all of these stones is because I have very high calcium levels in my diet. All right, and guys, I got to assure you, I'm not addicted to morphine, but I did put myself on a high calcium diet. Crazy. Well, I'm also the kind of person that really hates insurance companies, can't stand medical insurance. I've got a bad insurance company. Do you know that for years, I don't know when the last time was that I got a name brand medicine, right? You always get generics, right? You go get something filled, it's always a generic, all right? And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm 62 years old, and it came to that time in my life when I needed to take that little blue pill, all right? Does anybody here know what the actual generic name for Viagra is? It's called Macoxyphilin. You gotta remember that when you go to the drugstore next time. They'll love that. They'll love that. So, yeah, my dad is 86 years old, still going strong, amazing. And he had back surgery last year. Right? Imagine being 85 and having back surgery. So I went to visit him at the hospital, right? And he's laying up in bed there with this big shit-eating grin on his face. And I said, Dad, why are you so happy? He goes, this is the best hospital that I have ever been in. I said, how could you say this is the best hospital you've ever been in? You just went through major back surgery. He goes, Jan, every night before I go to bed, they give me a nice warm cup of cocoa and the Viagra. I said, okay. I said, why do they do that? He says, well, the hot cocoa relaxes every muscle in my body, and the Viagra stops me from rolling out of bed. Right, it's rough out there, I gotta tell you. It's rough. Guys, I'm a widower. I lost my wife back in February. I think it was like aisle 6 in Sears, the last time I saw her. No, I really did. I lost my wife in February, and my wife was crazy addicted to QVC, right? QVC, okay? I wish they would rip that channel off the air. Hate that. So after she had passed, we went down the basement to clean up, and do you know that I found 147 bags of clothing down there? Some of it still have the price tags on it, right? 8 coffee makers. Same model, just different colors. And we also found a Mexican family of 3. So, oh yeah, she was just crazy with that. She was nuts. So, my wife and I had planned a trip to Italy, and always wanted to go see Italy. So, I'm a bit of a wise guy, maybe figured that out by now. And what I did was, I made a promise to myself that I would teach myself to speak Italian fluently. And I promised her that by the time we're in Italy, I'll be 100% fluent. So again, I buy the books, the CDs, the DVDs, the whole 9 yards. And we go off on vacation, all right? And my wife looks at me at one point, she goes, "You're not gonna believe this, honey? I just got my period." I said, "Don't worry, I've got this." So I went to the farmacia, pharmacy, all right? I said to the pharmaciette, "Por favore, signore, dove il sanitario napkinos?" And she looked at me and said, "Sir, I don't know why you're speaking Italian. You haven't left JFK yet." Yeah. I wish I was making this stuff up. That's the funny part about it. Very, very particular where I park my car. I lived in Queens for many years. I was a college professor. I taught at St. John's University. And I was just very leery where I parked the car in Queens. Because you know what happens. You leave your car on the wrong street, they jack your car up, they take your tires, everything. And it's ridiculous, all right? So last week, I went to a friend's house who lived up in Muttontown. All right, you know where Muttontown is? On the Gold Coast of Long Island. Very prissy neighborhood, all right? I walk out the next morning, right, and there's my car up on blocks. And they put on a brand new set of tires and a hubcap for me. Yeah, that's a hell of a neighborhood, let me tell you. It really is. So I have a friend of mine that I'm very, very close to. He called me last week and he told me that he just went to the city and he got a hooker for $20. $20. He also told me he got crabs. All right? And I said, "What the fuck do you want for $20? Lobsters?" Yeah. That's funny. So, what else could I tell you about myself? Let's see. Well, I started to date again, all right? I figured, still breathing, still walking, so why not? Right, go out on a date. So I take this Chinese girl out, right? Beautiful, beautiful girl, right? Where do you think I take her? To a Chinese restaurant, all right? So I said to her, "What would you like for your main course?" And she looks at me and she says, "Lips." I said, "Lips? What kind of lips?" She said, "Spare lips." Yeah, I know, that one is just, yeah, it's all a thinker. Also, yeah, that's a thinking joke. That's a thinking joke. So, let's see, what else can I tell you about? I just ended a relationship with this very nice Puerto Rican girl that I was taking out. And you know what I learned? I learned that in her neighborhood, they call the Mr. Softy truck Senor Flacido. Senor Flacido. Right? So, her 6-year-old comes walking into the room, right? Looks at her and says, "Mama, ¿dónde está Senor Flacido?" But she fucking points at me. Right? Life is tough out there, I gotta tell you. Hey, it's time for an impression. Okay. If I push hard enough, we'll get one. All right, so, That was just a quick impression. That was a quick impression. So, let's see. I have a lot of friends here in the audience tonight. And I want to thank you guys very much for coming. As a matter of fact, I want to thank everybody for coming, or however you reacted to my act. So, what I'd like to tell you tonight is, please, just be careful out there. If you are drinking and driving, please, I beg you, make sure you have a car. All right, guys, I've been Jan Brenner. That's my time. Have a great night.